Hit us with the levels, Prince.
Let's go. Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hi. Hi, guys. I'm back. Thank you, Connor, for sitting in. You done a stand-up job, and I did listen, obviously, as I'll let you know, because I said I wasn't being horrible to dwarfs. Yeah, good episode. Well done. Fantastic.
It was alright, wasn't it? Oh, fucking hell. Hell. I've got it for the PlayStation now.
I know. I've been watching you.
It's very exciting. It was a bit of it weren't a cunt setting up the cross saves, but you have to manually go into the settings on Steam and then do it on. It's all in game, and then do it on the PlayStation, and then you got to sync it all up. But like half the saves didn't fucking sync up, so I had to go onto Steam, do a quick save, and then you have to wait for it to upload it to the cloud, and then you go onto the PlayStation, turn that on, and then it syncs it all up, and then blah blah. I think by the looks of it should do it pretty auto.
I can't put into words how happy I was that you were playing Baldur's Gate. I genuinely exasperated. I went,
it's decent, man. Don't get me wrong, but because Connor was like, oh, another apology episode coming. I've never said a bad word about it.
I know you didn't.
I've never said anything iffy about it. I've always maintained that I was happy to pay my 120 quid now.
You've always G'd them up and said respect them, but it's just not a game that I
just
enjoy.
Weren't for me. But
yeah.
Obviously the fucking that's all changed now. After our D&D session, I was like, you know what? I'll give this another little tickle. I mean, I haven't played it a massive amount since the last time because obviously the new season of WoW started, so it's been a bit like. But I jumped on it and played it on controller rather than mouse because I started it up, did a new save, made a fighter, just a bog standard human fighter called Zima, and thought I'll give it a crack on mouse and keyboard again. Instantly, I was like, this is awful. This is the worst movement style ever created. It's horrible, and whoever thought it was a good idea should be burned in hell, because you shouldn't have to click and move and then move the camera around with WASD and Q&E. It's horrible. It's a horrible way to do it. So I plugged the controller in and I was like, this is amazing. So this is so much better. This is way better. Got into a couple of fights, fucking did some dialogue, and Steph was laying in bed watching, and she was like, oh, do you want to do that? Maybe you should talk to this person. And she's like, I'll let you play, I'll let you figure it out yourself. And then what was I, like 12, 13 hours in, something like that, and boom, here we are, fucking all over it. So I was like, oh well, I'll buy it for the PlayStation, because it was Connor that was like, it's cross save, and I was like, shit, is it? And then we googled it, and it was like, yeah, it's cross save, and it's like quite easy to set up. I was like, fucking hell, because obviously I want to play it on the SteamDeck as well, and where that's obviously all up onto the Steam cloud. It's very easy. And then I was like, oh fucking hell, because obviously Steph hasn't played Baldur's Gate for a while, and having seen me then get quite heavy into it, she's obviously like, I want to fucking jump in. And once I found out it was cross save, I was like, right, I'll buy it for the PlayStation, because that way either of us can fucking play it whenever we want, like simultaneously if we really wanted to. So that's where we are at the moment. So I might get some time in over the weekend, or to be fair, I'm quite happy plodding along doing whatever I'm doing, and Steph fucking play it on the PlayStation. That's mainly the reason why I got it, because graphics are better on the PC than they are on the PlayStation, I won't lie. So I'm happy either way. It's good. It'll be a slow burn.
Oh yeah. It's funny that we done it the opposite way. So I played Baldur's Gate and then was like, I really want to play D&D, and you played D&D and was like,
I want to play Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, yeah. But are you seeing the similarities between the D&D and then because things making more sense already?
Massively.
Yeah.
Well, let me just open that door. Cause you ever see them videos where they're like the air doesn't move? It's like that. There we go. Definitely that short, fucking 7-8 hour D&D session that we did made it so much more enjoyable and understandable, because I was like, I've got to do a skill check for it. Nice to see that my rolls are still wanking fucking Baldur's Gate as opposed to what was it? I was unlocking a door or something. I needed a 10. Oh no. Sorry, I was unlocking a door. I needed a 2. I rolled a 1. All right, but because I got no charisma, -1. So I rolled a fucking 0. Did that twice.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Absolute bollocks.
Oh, what a game! I did start again. I told
Yeah.
you I started at Solax Astaria.
Yeah. Oh, you made him on
Yeah,
fucking
Made the Drow sorcerer, I believe he is. He's doing the Dark Urge path. I've literally only just got out the Nautiloid and onto the beach. I haven't done anything really. I just started, but it feels good to be back. Although I haven't played it since because Steam Deck and that.
You've been banging the Steam Deck away, yeah.
So yeah, the Steam Deck is here. She's beautiful.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
It's been fucking 2 weeks. I forgot that you bought it, to be fair.
Oh, it's good, isn't
Is
it?
it good, yeah?
Oh, it might be the best thing I've ever bought.
Yeah.
It's that good.
It's a different fucking mindset on gaming, isn't it? It's a weird one.
But then I bought it and I didn't for like the first 3 days I didn't buy a game.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I was paralysed by choice.
Yeah.
I was on the store just looking, just like
It's exactly what I was like. I was like, what you do?
There's a lot of games on there that I'm like, but I can just play on PlayStation,
Mhm.
so I don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do I want to play? So I
Mhm.
bought Stardew Valley.
Yep.
I love it. I put in, I don't know how many hours, 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
Play it every night.
Yeah.
It's the most peaceful, lovely, delicious, wholesome, beautiful little game I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
It is fantastic. Chopping wood, I'm fishing, I'm mining.
You can play Valheim on Steam Deck.
Yeah, Valheim. Yeah, well, I've wishlist loads of shit.
Yeah,
mate.
there's loads of shit, man.
I've wishlist stuff all over the shop.
Have you gone into desktop mode yet?
I did it once and then went straight back.
Yeah, you
scared
scared,
fuck out of me. So I don't like it. Get me back.
Did you update it at all?
I just did everything it told me to do. It,
Yeah.
whatever updates it needed.
Yeah,
I've-
decent.
I've bought a wishlist. V Rising, obviously.
Yeah.
War Tales,
Yep.
which has just come out.
Yep.
No, Manor Lords, which has just come out. Sorry. War Tales, Hades 2, and Project Zomboid.
Oh yeah. Project Zomboid.
Very cool looking game.
Yeah,
I've done
man.
a lot of research on that.
Yeah.
That's probably my next pickup.
It's probably as close as you can get to real post-apocalyptic zombie. That's sort of like as real survival as you can probably get. It's funny that you mentioned it because there was literally a TikTok I was watching the other morning while I was having some fucking breakfast of a guy. He was like, here's my idea for the best like survival zombie game that has never been created. And the geezer basically just listed off all the shit that's already in DayZ and then is in fucking Project Zomboid. And everyone in the comments was saying that. They were like, your perfect game is already out. It's this, and this.
Yeah, it's it looks very good. It's like a friendlier DayZ.
Yeah.
But it looks serious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it's
Gritty.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think that's perfect up my alley. Perfect for the Steam Deck as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been playing a little game called No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked. Never heard of it, I don't think.
No,
I
made
think so.
by the same people as Ori and the Wisp. Heard of
Nope,
them?
lost
Okay.
on me.
Anyway, very, very good. Massive game. Like, big, like, probably one of the most hyped up indie titles for God knows how long. Described it as a Diablo, or not a Diablo, it's like an ARPG. It's very good. I don't really know how to explain it to you. Look at it.
What was it called? What was it called again?
No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked.
It's got like the Diablo
No Rest for the Wicked.
view, so it's like top downy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a Diablo kind of game at all. It's very Souls like. It's very methodical combat. It's resource gathering.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking. How much was it? 7 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah, the reviews have been terrible because
No Rest for the Wicked is an action role-playing game developed by Moon Studios and published by Private Division. Set in the year 841, the player assumes control of a holy warrior who must travel to the island of Isola Sacra to investigate a plague named the Pestilence. There you go. Why is it bad reviews?
because the performance was awful. But bear in mind, it came out it's early access, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck the reviews. It's early access. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can have an opinion, but it's not the final product. But yeah, it's not a great performance. But bearing in mind, it came out 6 days ago, as of yesterday. It's had 5 updates in 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
So they are
Which
like
is decent. They're on it.
and they're like all over what do the community want, you know? And people are saying to them, look, be careful, don't let the community make your game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make the game you want to make.
Have a presence, and then the people that are whinging, if they still don't like your game, well then it's not the game for them. They can fuck off and play something else.
Exactly.
Everyone can't just keep. It says it's not exactly a peachy world to explore, but the compelling characters with top-notch voice performances and depressing vibes of a beautiful world gone terribly wrong are both exceedingly well done and quickly become an extremely alluring reason to press on through each harrowing area and lethal boss. Very cool. Seems like the kind of perfect game for the Steam Deck.
It is. It says. So here's what someone tweeted. This is something he tweeted earlier. What are your folks' plans for multiplayer? Because they're doing multiplayer as well. I'm guessing most people want to play a single-player realm and main there and have another realm that they share with their friends, but let's hear it. Keep in mind, what we're trying to do is advance multiplayer beyond what Diablo and Souls do, etc. Meaning, we'll allow you to create a persistent realm for up to 4 players that's always online and doesn't require a host. So if you share a realm with your friend, they can keep farming, raiding, and progressing stuff, even if you're offline.
Yep, decent.
A party will have to communicate and coordinate, and loot is first come, first serve, because we'll ultimately want players to have to argue and debate about who gets what. People voted for single and multiplayer, and someone commented saying, I'd hoped this would turn into a semi-MMO, maybe in a future expansion. Then they said, we're not really interested in competing in the MMORPG space. Instead, we want to create our own niche where we can do all the things that you can't do in a single-player RPG and can't do in an MMORPG. I want to be able to play together with friends, but I also want to still have all of us be able to have an effect on the world. MMORPGs by nature are basically like theme parks. One group goes and kills Arthas. 5 minutes later, Arthas has to be respawned again so that the next group can have a go at it. I always thought that's really immersion breaking. Instead, if one player in Wicked manages to do something, the citizens of Isola Sacra should react to that. So they should build you a goddamn statue if you manage to make their lives better, etc. So I think this is like a game for the long haul. Obviously, it's early access, but the idea of what they're saying is really cool. Of the persistent realm, so you can log on, do your shit. I log on and go, oh, you've done that. That's well good, and you haven't got to be on together and all that nonsense.
Everyone wants games like that to sort of break into the MMO space, but it's beyond the point where there's no fucking point. I'm with them on make your own identity, do your own thing, and if it works, it works. I feel like the minute you try and label a game like that as an MMO, always going to be compared to the fucking Big Daddy, always, as every MMO does, and they never stand up to it. Otherwise, they'd be at the top of the podium, and they're not.
But MMOs are not what they used to be anyway.
MMOs are not what they used to be, but neither's gaming.
MMOs were like a place where everyone went and played, but now most MMOs, I'd say probably even World of Warcraft to some degree, you can play solo completely. You don't really need other players, and when you do, you can just like dungeon queue.
Yeah.
Not even, and you can do it with NPCs now, right? So they're not what they used to be anyway. They're just single player games with multiplayer if you want it.
MMOs are like most gaming. They're an evolution of the times. If MMOs stayed exactly the same how they used to be, they wouldn't be as popular as they currently are now. That's why. But you can get tastes of the old school, like with something like WoW Classic. That is just vanilla WoW, but obviously now it's gone to fucking Burning Crusade, and now it's fucking Wrath Classic, and now it's going to be Cataclysm Classic. So that's not even fucking vanilla anymore. But things have to adapt. Realistically, you now, as who you are and the fucking family that you have and the life that you lead, and same from my perspective, do not have as much time as you did when you were fucking 16. When you were younger, when you was a teenager gaming. And most of us who have grown up with gaming still game now. So developers have to adapt to that because they have also grown up, and you can't keep rolling with the same shit that you did when we was all teenagers because we can't fucking do it. we can't. Yeah, World of Warcraft, you can play as a solo character, and most people do, unless you're lucky enough like me where you have a guild. But even then, I play mostly on my own, because if you needed to group up to do every single bit of content, yes, that would be more fun. However, it would take so much fucking longer, and nothing would get done, and only the people who can sweat it and spend hours and hours playing it will get anywhere, which will just push everyone else out. You got to have a balance somewhere. So yeah, they don't need to be an MMO. This game does not need to delve into that.
No, and I don't know why it would even be suggested that it's to go into the MMO realm, because there's not one part of that game that looks MMO to me.
Because everyone wants a fucking fresh MMO that's never going to happen, because you've already got people fucking concreted at the top.
But they're trying to compare it to Diablo, but Diablo's not an MMO. Diablo is a single player game with other players running about in it.
Yeah, Diablo is not an MMO.
So just because there's other players in the world doesn't mean it needs to have an MMO tag. I think No Rest for the Wicked, I still don't really know what it is. Because I started on the ship, you do your little bollocks walking about, meeting people, the ship crashes, you end up on a beach, and then it's like, off you go. And then you're just wandering around the beach, and then I went into an area and it said, yes, it was quite hard. And then, I died, and it was like, yeah, this is hard. And they even have a weapon for the first hour. I was punching people. I couldn't find a weapon. I think all the loot's random, right? Yeah. So that's fucking cool as fuck. I love that. Like, even when you open a chest, it's all random. And then, you can find different weapons and all sorts of shit. But, I'm finding things to dig up and mine, and it's like, oh, you need a shovel to dig this, and you need a pickaxe to mine this, and you need a fishing rod to fish here, and rah. And you need an axe to chop down trees and stuff. But I'm like, why am I collecting wood? I don't know what that's for.
Yeah, what am I doing this for?
Yeah, so I don't know what that entails. But the way it's suggested here is that you're building stuff and rah. So I think if they can go down the road of what they're doing, because it's already unique, because it's Diablo style but soul combat, so it's punishing, it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's got the isometric view. If they can just get multiplayer in terms of a bit of co-op and a bit of like Soulsborne PvP like Elden Ring, whatever, you can just fight other people, that'd be enough. I don't think you don't need fucking hundreds of people running around the world.
The idea to have a consistent server that your friends can just drop in and out of, that's always a nice thing when you can drop into somewhat like a dedicated server that doesn't require the host to be involved with it. Enshrouded, I believe, does that, but you have to, I think you have to essentially pay for the server in order to have a dedicated server. And yeah, that sounds extremely difficult to uphold with the, if you kill a boss within this world, then that's it, that boss is dead. And if one person's done it out of the fucking 6 people that are in this realm, then so be it. But at the same time, it does sound very cool. And yeah, you do want people to fucking argue over certain things, because it just creates a little bit of fucking turmoil and excitement. If you're all fighting a boss and 2 of you are after the same thing and that thing drops, you fucking, right, well, now we gotta fight out over this. It makes things interesting, man. It also pisses people off, but fuck it, I like it.
But it makes you want to go and grind out that big gear yourself.
Yeah.
And they're also talking about I can't find it right now, but because like I say, I still don't really know what the game is, so I'm still finding out. But they were talking about just allowing trading, like through realms, just letting people trade whatever the fuck they wanted, because why not? And then if it's not working for the game, they'll change
Get rid of it.
But why not just let people try and do it? And just give it a go. So at the moment, I think it's very good, very, very, very good.
This is what early access is for,
100%.
though. Early access is to be utilised. I wish that people's outlooks on early access could be fucking changed, because I feel like every game, especially on Steam, is in fucking early access now, and I feel like a lot of people have just lost sight of what early access is. Like literally started with. Don't listen to the fucking reviews. It's early access. None of it matters. How you can't. It doesn't make any difference. Same with fucking WoW. Well, the War Within is going through open beta, closed beta at the moment, and anything that happens within that, it does not matter for when it actually releases. So, for example, an Arms Warrior is at the very fucking top of the DPS by a long shot. They're absolutely killing it in the beta. They're going to be nerfed to fuck. It will all balance out. So it poses absolutely no relevance to when the game actually releases. And that's the same with games on Steam that are in early access. So many people review bomb shit and have a go and go, oh, this is shit, you need to do this, blah, 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 blah. But all people play the game and then just complain because it's buggy or it's broken or there's bits that are missing. And it's like, well, it's early access. What do you... The only time when it takes the piss is if a game stayed in early access for fucking ever and still hasn't fully released. Then, yeah, you're like, well, what the fuck are we still in early access for?
No, it came out now.
6 days ago.
Yeah, 7 or 6 days ago as of yesterday. And they've done 5 updates.
Yeah, I know.
Early access and they've done 5 updates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so they obviously want it to work.
I don't think they should be allowed to review like without massive disclaimers. Just being like, this is early access, because like, I knew it was early access. It still cost me like 30 quid or whatever it was. And I was on the fence because I watched a lot of people say they loved it and it was their game of the year. And a lot of people were saying, but also saying the performance was shocking and it's really bad, and sometimes dipping down to like 20 frames a second at certain moments and stuff like that. But then I was like, but that is never going to, they're never going to allow it to stay like that. And this is early access. So if the game is that good and it's just the performance, then I'll jump in now, because they're going to fix that. And I've never been, and this is why the Steam Deck's so good for me, I've never really been someone to jump into early access. I've always had to wait for the 1.0 build to come out. So to be able to experience this game now, and then maybe to see what it's like in a year's time, if it comes out in a year or sooner, I don't know, to just be like, oh, I remember when you started on the beach and you had no weapon, and now look, you know, just to experience that's going to be cool.
You need, if you're jumping into an early access game, you need to understand that you can't jump in and complain and berate the game and the developers. You need to constructively criticize. That's what you need. That's what you need. You need to bug report. You need to give feedback on what's going on. You can't buy. Also, you paid money for it. You haven't paid money for a full game. You're not entitled to, if there's performance issues, to just give it a poor review and complain. You have essentially paid to be a beta player. So be a beta player. You've paid the fucking money to join that club. So be one. If the performance is shit, don't fucking write it a poor review. Get hold of the fucking developers through whatever toolkit they've got within the game to fucking report stuff and explain what's going on. Be that person. It's an early access game. Well, that's your job. Regardless of if you paid for it or if you've got it for free. It's early access. It's in beta. You need to test it. You're a games tester. When you play it on the Steam Deck, when something happens, and I'm not saying, because a lot of people don't. I myself, I'm not someone where if a bug comes up, chances are I'm not going to report it, because I'll just wash over it. It's not that big of a deal. But if something comes up and it is bugging you, then just fucking say, you know what I mean? But say it in the right way, because all that happens is when you've got a price tag of 35 quid and you're early access and it's been review bombed because there's some performance issues because it's fucking early access, then you're just going to harm that game even more, because most people, when it comes into a full game, will see those reviews and go, oh, if it was shit in early access, then fucking what's it going to be like now?
Well, here's the developer, Thomas Maller. He tweeted, just say, and it's a very good tweet actually, we're not even a week into early access and it's already pretty clear that going with early access is one of the best decisions we could have made. I see some people are still irked about why games like Wicked, Hades 2, Larian's new game, etc. launch into early access, even if the studios should have the funds to finish the game and release it then. But that's looking at a complex problem through a way too simple lens. I think as games become more and more complex and sophisticated, we'll see some form of early access happening more and more often. Speaking from our own experience, there was just no way we could either have shipped Wicked 1.0 without being able to see all the data we're seeing now and getting all the feedback from users.
Well, of course not.
And I mean actual users, not a focused testing group. Even if we'd had 2 to 3 times the staff, it would have been quite simply impossible. The product is just way too complex of a beast to reasonably expect that 9 women can't make a baby in a month. And even historically speaking, I think some games would have benefited from early access even before early access was the thing. Imagine Dark Souls 1 would have been in early access instead of from rushing to ship a boxed product in a somewhat unfinished state. They probably would have been able to look at the second half of that game and still fully form and polish the less polished areas like Lost Izalith, etc. You could just do that through updates and DLC, I hear you say. No, oftentimes you can't. Shipping games is always incredibly difficult and stressful, and most of the time it means making quite drastic compromises, especially if your product is trying to accomplish something new. And if you don't know that it's okay to bring in certain features and scope after the fact, you'll just end up cutting before you hit the market. So even if you dislike the idea of early access, it's one way to allow developers to truly perfect a product over time. So please try to understand that there's value in that. I'm confident that we will see games being created for early access programs that would have never been made without it. And to that effect, we will need to see PlayStation and Nintendo also embrace early access. The industry is changing at a rapid pace, and holding on to things that were the norm 5 to 10 years ago is too restrictive. Ultimately, people just want to play great games. It shouldn't matter how the game is developed, just that it was. And if players can't play some great experience on your platform, you're doing your audience a disservice. What a guy.
It's a very good tweet.
It is. And he's completely right, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Powerworld's in early access, right?
It is.
Because I could only play it on Xbox because PlayStation doesn't allow early access.
Nope.
Which is frustrating. That is one of the good things about Xbox, is you can play early access titles.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, not enough. Like, there's plenty of games. See, I'm umming and ahhing now, because that game that I really wanted to play, V Rising, the vampire one, that comes out next week, I believe, or week after, with controller support, SteamDeck support, all that. Do I get it on the Steam Deck or do I get it on the PlayStation? Now I don't know. It's very difficult.
Is it cross-save?
I don't know.
It's always worth.
If it's cross-save, then 100% I'll get it on both, if I like it that much. But then I've got the added advantage, another reason why I bought No Rest for the Wicked. Your words ringing true in my ear. If I don't like it, play it after an hour and 59 minutes, I refund it.
Yep.
Like, well, I'll get my money back, and I realise this is not for me, and the performance is shit.
Steam makes it very, very easy to return games.
And
very easy.
That's why I think within 2 hours of No Rest for the Wicked, you would know, 1, if that game's for you, and 2, if the performance is not up to snuff for you.
Yeah.
So just refund it and leave your comments yourself, because it's not a full release. So don't shit on the game. You know what I mean? Constructive criticism, like you said, is perfect.
Yeah, they just need feedback. So you think how many games none fucking spring to mind because I'm not heavy in fucking early access games, but there has to be a long list of games that were put into early access and then fucking diminished because people review bombed or said very bad things that just tanked it. Because it's not just the game itself. There's people behind that screen that are then making that game. If you put we do this podcast every fucking week, all right? Sometimes we feel up to it, sometimes we don't. It's just how the fucking world works. Right? It depends how our week's gone, all right? But we're here. We do it consistently. It's very fun. But if we just kept getting feedback all the time, serious feedback of saying how shit our podcast was, you're not going to want to do it anymore.
No, exactly.
You're going to go, well, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not doing this for fucking good praise. We're doing this because we enjoy it. But at the same time, if every episode you're releasing is just people saying, that episode was wank, fucking, you're talking about shit. Sorry, I'm just choking here. You're not going to want to keep pumping out episodes. It's demoralising, and I feel like that would be the same for developers.
Last tweet. Someone asked about the multiplayer and how it's going to work with story and stuff like that. And this is what they're planning. He said, right now we're not planning to lock characters to realms. There's been major debates about that in our team, and we might still change this, but I think we should allow global trading and see what happens, like I said to you, which is fucking cool. 2, story can be progressed even if you're not there. We'll probably do a last time on thing so that you get updated on what happened on your realm while you were away last time. Well, that's pretty cool. Again, lots of debates happening around this subject, but ultimately we think it's best to let players decide. Ideally, we'd want the multiplayer realms to feel a bit like playing D&D. And when a new story update drops, folks should party up and play it together, same way people party up to watch a new episode of Game of Thrones back when it was great. 3, friendly fire will be on by default. We tried without friendly fire, and 4 players wailing on a mob is just not fun. We want players having to be careful and play tactically. 4, PvP will be part of our multiplayer update. At first, you'll be able to play against other players within our arenas. Invasions are something we're still thinking about. And 5, if we detect people cheating, you'll get flagged and only matched up with other players who cheated. Will there be some ranked PvP system? Yes, I think we all want to know who the top 10 most wicked players in the world are. And I noticed there are only 3 houses in Sacrament for purchase. I was wondering, will houses be shared between players, or is each player have their own personal space? There will be more player houses, and yes, they'll be shared. First come, first served. So you better snatch up the prime real estate while they're getting good. See, I don't know. I haven't reached the city yet. I'm still on the beach. But like I say, I'm not going to go anymore because I'll probably spoil shit for myself. But the point of the matter is, I mean, the game's not even fully out, so you can't even play to the end.
Yeah.
Because it's early access. It only goes up to a certain point, right? So, but I love it, and the idea of what they want. Or I can't believe you haven't heard of Ori and Will-O-Wisp. One of they're mad reviews, bro.
No.
They're like a highly coveted developer because of Ori. Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will-O-Wisp, yeah. Massive games for them is what really put them on the map. 10 out of 10s and 90 on Metacritic, and yeah, they're huge.
Well, I think
you would have seen it at least.
Yeah, I've the picture of Ori sitting there on a branch seems to ring a bell.
Yeah.
I think maybe I've seen Steph not play it, but look at it, possibly.
Yeah, they're massive games, right, in the indie community, I guess.
Yeah.
But well known because of that. So everyone was hyped about this, but because of their previous games and what their plan is for this, I think this game's going to be a monster. When it releases in 1.0 and it's actually got a marketing campaign behind it and a year, say, of early access, I think this game's going to be a monster when it comes out.
The real estate thing is cool. It's kind of like fucking real life. You get in while it's fucking nice and cheap and easy to obtain, and then just fucking sit on it so no one else in the fucking future can buy a property
until they offer you loads of money.
Yeah,
or they kill you for it. This is what he did make an interesting point earlier about the MMO stuff that I've never really thought about, but he's right. It is immersion breaking, you know, when you kill someone and then you wait, and then you have to wait for them to come back to kill them. But there's no real other way for MMOs to do that. If they can find a way to, I mean, it's different because it's not an MMO, right? So I don't really know how that would impact this game.
It's immersion breaking in a sense of, yeah, from a role play perspective, like with Arthas the Lich King.
Is that who he's talking
about?
Yeah. Oh, I wonder why you laughed.
If you've gone through the entirety of like Wrath of the Lich King, and then you're in the Ice Crown Citadel, which is where he is, and you kill him. Really cool, and it was really cool as I was fucking there, and you get all these big cutscenes or whatever, and fucking story progresses and blah blah blah, and then every Wednesday the reset happens and you can just go back there again and do the exact same thing and continuously do it. I get that it fucking rips out the immersion, but it would never ever work for an MMO point of view because it's a raid boss. They drop gear. It's a season. Like you have to continuously kill something. I would like to see maybe the idea of like what Remnant 2 does with the procedurally generated areas and the bosses thrown into that as well, because obviously they change quite consistently. Not the fucking main bosses, but the side ones. They obviously change it up a bit. Maybe you could employ something like that where if you kill a boss, that boss is now dead and the loot table that boss now held is gone. However, that boss was in a list of 100 other bosses. So carry on doing what you're doing. Maybe there's a timer or something and that boss comes back in a different form as something else. Now there's a different loot table so you can kill that, and then so on and so on and so on. So I feel like you'd have say you got a group of 5 people. Well, they may have only fucking interacted with a third of those bosses. So you've got quite a long time before it's the fucking same boss. Maybe you could have something like that where it doesn't break that. I don't know. Difficult one.
It is
Very difficult.
It's just the idea of the game is just really cool, man. I love resource gathering in games. I don't know why.
Mm.
That's why I love Stardew Valley. It's all done on a day by day basis. You can only get so much done in a day. So
It depends how real you want to be with it, because if you're resource gathering, cut down a tree, all right? So let's say in real terms, 2 hours later, that tree's back there again. You can cut that down again and get more wood. Well, that's not fucking real, is it? Because trees don't grow that quickly. So you can't have it where I've killed a boss, that boss is gone forever. That loot's what I got is what I got, and you won't be able to get that again within this campaign. But maintain a multiplayer aspect and a replayability aspect, and then have a fucking resource gathering system alongside that, which is constantly fucking refreshing itself, because that's not real. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't have one and then the other. It's very difficult to try and juggle that. You need to have some sort of replayability, especially if it's all about combat and fucking boss fights.
well, I'm in it for the long haul. I backed it early access, so I'm a backer. You know what I mean? So I'll be there pointing at all the scrubs on day one on launch day, saying,
With your fucking mansion that cost you a fiver.
Fucking you idiots!
I was here from the fucking beginning.
Standing on the beach, watching them all wash up, laughing, doing the laugh emote at them. Yeah, it's a very cool game. So far I've been far too scared to take the SteamDeck to work.
Have you?
I don't.
You got a screen protector on it?
Yeah, but nevertheless, I'm scared. Because if it's in a van
You get robbed.
not even that, because it'll be in my bag,
Yeah.
which I'll zip up, and then when I'm not in the van, I'll put it like I'm off doing something. I'll put the bag in the back. So if anyone's like, "Oh, I smashed that window and grabbed that bag," I always do that anyway. But then if I'm not back at the van and someone needs something, I open it and just tread on my bag or something, trying to get, and that just causes me anxiety.
Yeah. I used to take it out on site with me.
You're mental. Absolute madman.
I sat there in the heart of London, at Gloucester Road is where I was, and I was sat there on the wall with shit going on, playing Shadow of War.
I don't know how. You're a madman.
And then there was another time, what was it, fucking... There was a load of shit going on. There was I was in like some bus depot. There was a fucking wood chipper going on. And I think we had like a 45-minute break because we were waiting for something. And yeah, I was just sat there playing fucking Shadow War again on the Steam Deck, just fucking in amongst all this shit. Because I'm like, it's exciting, man. That's what it's for. You got a fucking portable PC in your hands, being able to play all these fucking games. I was like, this is cool, man. Don't get me wrong. I didn't do it that much, but I was like the idea of it, and what it made me do was I preferred to play little indie titles and stuff like that on the Steam Deck as opposed to full-fledged like AAA games, because I wanted games that were sort of short that you could pick up and put down whenever you like. You could quickly flick around, whereas you're playing something like fucking God of War and you're right in the middle of a fucking lead up to a boss fight and there's cutscenes and shit like that. You don't want to just fucking switch that off. You don't want to break that immersion. But you're playing fucking Stardew Valley. You can to a point. Oh, quick! I gotta go and do this. Fucking bang it in rest mode. Fucking.
Are you saying Stardew Valley's not an immersion? Mate, I am immersed.
I'm not fucking saying.
Oh, mate, I am immersed. I'm planning out my days. Bro.
Please tell me you're putting it in fucking rest mode and not just turning it off.
I'm turning it off.
No.
Yeah, power shut down.
No, that's not. That's not what it's for.
Why?
That's not what it's designed for. Put it in rest mode.
Why though?
Because you need to let it fucking live.
It is living.
No,
it's resting.
It's not good for it.
It's fine.
I don't actually think it is good for the battery to keep like properly turning it off, because it is designed to sit in rest mode.
There's no point. When it's not being used, turn it off. I'm old school. I turn the telly off.
Yes, because the telly doesn't fucking bang in rest mode.
Well, it goes on standby, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's not the point, is it?
It doesn't matter what Google says. I'll always just turn it off. But yes, another reason I'm not taking it to work is because I know I won't read no more, because I'll just be on that all the time, and reading is important.
Yeah, but so's playing video
games. I know, but I'm too busy reading and I'm immersed in my books as well. So the Stardew Valley is very good. It is the perfect Steam Deck game. I'm going out, cutting down wood. I just built a little furnace. I've been smelting some ore. Got myself some copper bars. Took my fucking pickaxe to the blacksmith. Took a couple of days for him to.
Oh no, you can just switch it off if you want to. I'm talking bollocks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for being honest.
There is a shipping mode, however, where if you're going to leave it for a couple of weeks to months, you can turn it off into a shipping mode that will preserve because you can't. That's where I have to be very careful. Sorry to butt in. Where I'm not using my Steam Deck really a lot. You can't let it die and then just leave it dead because it's not good for the battery. It needs to be fucking used.
I'm in.
No different to a car.
When the Steam Deck is dead, I'll get the Steam Deck 2 when it comes out. Like I'm in this ecosystem now. I now have to buy every Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Steam Deck.
It's so stupid on the point. Have you looked at any themes? Any startup themes for it?
Have you not seen my profile?
No.
Fucking get my Steam profile up, mate. I am flashing like a fucking firework display.
Oh yeah. Have you changed all of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so mental about it though is that we're obviously on a technological point with PCs and stuff. Obviously, I'm further on than you are.
Miles.
But nowhere near am I fucking anything special. I mean, fuck me, we do this whole podcast, we don't even edit the fucking thing because I'm too scared to.
We don't need to.
We don't need to, but if we
immaculate.
needed to, it'd be an issue, all right? I'd have to fucking learn. And we both own something of the Steam Deck where the things you can do with that are absolutely incredible. And the fact that it runs on Linux as well means that you can fucking do even more than you would be able to do on a standard PC.
Ask. Why don't I download games on that?
Yeah.
So I downloaded No Rest for the Wicked. I downloaded No Rest for the Wicked. And then it said, downloaded Linux Spearhead. Downloaded Linux. What is all that shit?
All the programs in the background for the Steam Deck.
But why does it download when I download a game? All these different, like,
because that's
shit.
what it needs to download. That's where it's all paired into. It's that
scared me. I was like, what else have I downloaded?
Let it all download. That they're very, very small. They're just for the background running system of because you're running a PC essentially with Steam put into Windows mode, like windowed mode, which you can do on here. It feels fucking horrible. So there's a lot of shit going on in the background. So you just need to let it fucking do its downloads. Let it do that shit. If you're like me and you really want to, you can do your downloads on the fucking Steam Deck on the handheld side of it, and then you can swap into Windows mode and you can update it through there like you would a normal laptop because there's loads of updates and shit for that. But you don't need to worry about that if you're never going into fucking desktop mode. But if you do, you're going to need to do them updates.
I didn't realise that it wouldn't download games when you were playing a game. So I tried downloading No Rest for the Wicked. I went on Stardew Valley. I went back on it. What the fuck's this game? It's paused.
Yeah, there's and it's the same as it won't download games in sleep, like in rest mode.
But I changed the setting.
There is no setting for rest mode download.
Not rest mode, but it downloads while I'm playing games now.
Oh yeah, you can.
So I carried on playing Stardew Valley whilst No Rest for the Wicked downloaded, which was great.
What I do when I'm downloading a game that's going to take a while is I turn because the screen doesn't turn off. It turns off when it's not plugged in, but obviously the battery dies, so it won't download in time. So you have to leave it plugged in while it's fucking downloading. But because it's plugged in, the screen don't turn off. So you basically just turn the brightness all the way down and then just leave it, and it's like dim enough to not be an issue. And then because the battery's very smart, it doesn't diminish the battery because it's plugged in, so it just draws power straight from the fucking electrical mains rather than the battery.
It's a weird one that you can't download it and rest mode it.
It's been a conversation point ever since it come out because a lot of people were like, well, fucking why?
Just leave it on with the screen on. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, it's annoying, and it's basically because of the way the system works. You put it in rest mode, it's still running, but it's not at the same time. PlayStation and Xbox have a different capability. It's the same with the PC. You're downloading something on the PC, the thing has to be turned on. You can't you can have it so the screen turns off. Just give me that feature.
Yeah, that's all I was
Give me
on
that.
about. Can you not just tap the power button once? And it
No,
can?
that puts it
Is
in
that rest mode?
Yeah, that puts it in
Okay.
rest mode.
Fair enough.
Puts it in rest mode.
I'm too scared to press buttons. Do you know what? I'm worried about how many times I'm pressing X.
Why?
Genuinely, because I'm pressing X on Stardew Valley, chopping stuff up, fishing, and I was like, I don't want to press it too
Look at
many
your
times.
shiny little profile. What's going on here then, eh?
I don't want to press X too many
Your
times
little
in case it
wolf.
starts getting stuck.
And you're fucking. Look at you going
Yeah,
on.
I got me some fucking startup videos.
Have you seen mine?
I've got a little Hades startup video.
Come round and look at mine.
I've looked at yours.
What, with the bugs dancing around?
Yeah, no, is that new?
No, it's not new.
I see your what's the buttons thing.
Yeah, the what's the buttons thing. I just put the background with fucking load of crickets or fucking whatever mobbing about.
What's all this? You can sell all your achievements and shit. What's that all about?
Oh,
People they were like, oh yeah, market value 7p. I was like, what?
yeah, you can sell.
Trading and
Yeah, you
shit.
can sell like portraits and avatars
weird, bro.
and things like that. There's a whole market there, kind of like
I
fucking
couldn't-
CS:GO.
I wanted to find a Baldur's Gate avatar, but I couldn't find one. There's no way of searching. It's literally just scroll through avatars.
Yeah,
Like, I need a fucking search bar, man, or a filter where I can be like, yeah, medieval RPG, rather than just scrolling endlessly. I got bored in the end and just went, I'll go with a wolf, because there's fucking millions.
what have I got? I've got 46. I completely forgot that you can fucking sell everything.
It's
This
weird.
item is worth 4p.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
This is worth 5p.
Who's buying this shit?
6p.
It's cool, but I don't get it.
I'd imagine it's in-game currency, like Steam currency
Steam
type
currency,
stuff. Where
yeah.
what's this? You can't sell that. I've got a dancing crab here. Can't sell that. I can't sell that. I can't sell most of it. It's weird.
I've got like fucking 60,000 Steam points or something, man.
Oh yeah, when you buy the Steam Deck, it gives you a load.
Fucking
you can-
mountains of them.
But you can only use that for like the avatars and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that. You can't use it for games, which
Yeah,
would
that's
have been
cool.
nice.
But I was looking through it, and I get overwhelmed. I get paralysed by choice, so I'm just using the Steam Deck default one that it gives you. And
There's a lot going on with the Steam Deck. It's just as long as you keep the fucking thing updated, and that's about it. You don't need to fucking do anything else. It's very cool. You see how odd it is though.
It's an
like-
amazing piece of equipment.
It's crazy, isn't
I'm
it?
amazed by it.
It's such a technological niche thing, and yet it's the ability to play these games on the go is just fucking. It's crazy.
I've had my daughter Jem and her brother all say to me, "Oh, what's that? A Switch?"
Yeah. No.
I scoffed.
No, this is a Steam Deck, sir.
I gawked.
I saw the modding community managed to get GTA 5 running on Switch, and it runs at like 5 frames per second
That's what I mean.
with nothing going on.
Yeah, honestly, but this thing has just got everything. You can mod stuff. You can get emulators. I mean, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I probably never will, but the fact
No.
that you can is cool, and I love that. You know,
There's people out there that use it as their work computer.
it's mental.
They do editing and all sorts of shit. It's
I
just,
might
it's
even
just a
buy
computer.
Baldur's Gate on Steam just so I can cross save onto the Switch, onto the Steam Deck, just so I can have it on there.
It's very cool, and some of them you've got to fuck around with the settings. Have you bought a battery power? What is your battery like? Because you've obviously got the OLED version, which has the upgraded battery system in it, which adds on like another 2 or 3 hours or something like that. What's your playtimes looking like?
Fantastic. I haven't. Obviously, I'm not playing really powerful inducing games, so I'm just playing Stardew Valley and No Rest for the Wicked. But I haven't ever got to the point where it's needed charging. I've put it on charge because I've played it for 2 nights in a row and it's getting low, so I need to charge it while I'm playing. But I haven't run out of battery or got close to being, I better put this on charge while I'm playing. So, you know, time will tell. But I will never take it to a place where I won't be near a charger anyway, because I won't take it out. It'll only be for when we go away and I'm in the evenings, you know, when you go to a caravan park and there's nothing to do, them sort of places, or I stay around like a family members or something. That's when I'll be using it, and I'll always have a plug near me. So the battery life's not the end of the world.
'Cause you have to make sure that if you're going to charge it, you have to use the plug that it gives you.
Oh, yeah,
because anything less, it won't. That charger that you've got with that is fucking beefy. It's a big old cunt. Anything else, your phone charger will not charge that Steam Deck fast enough. You're talking like 16 hours to charge it full on just like a normal USB. When I got it and I plugged it into the van because I was like, I'll just charge it from there. It literally come up saying not enough power. It's just not strong enough to do it. And then when I bought a battery pack, same thing.
This
not strong
vehicle
enough.
that is propelled along.
Yeah, it's like this isn't powerful enough to do it. So you have to buy. Mine was like a 24,000 milliamp fucking battery, big chunky fucking thing, which is charging it. And then, that's why I say when you charge your phone with the Steam Deck charger, this will either blow up or it charges in about 10 minutes, which is what it does. It's fucking instant. Can't be good for the battery. It must be overloading it, but I don't give a fuck because it runs out in half an hour after doing that. I'll just plug it in for another 5, give myself 70%.
Yeah, I'm very anal about chargers anyway. I always make sure I use the right one for my Kindle and all that stuff. I don't like having them switching up.
It's a fantastic bit of kit.
Amazing. It's honestly one of the best. I've said to everyone that I know that knows I've got it. It's honestly one of the best things I've ever bought.
Yeah,
for
man.
me.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I thought it was going to be cool, novel, and I'll play it like I do with the Switch and then I'll drop it. This is never getting dropped because Steam has such a vast library of games that I've always wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I either haven't played because I just don't play on PC, or I don't like playing on a PC screen or laptop screen.
Yeah.
Now I can just play on the Steam Deck. The only real things I want to get a dock so I can put it on the telly.
Yeah.
There's certain games that I want to play and I'd like to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fully aware that it ain't going to be that pretty because it's going to blow up onto a 50-inch telly or whatever, 55-inch telly. But that I'm not a graphics man anyway. But yeah, because it's all you can use your PlayStation control, Xbox control, any control you want, Nintendo control.
Yeah,
so
set up.
I want to get that set up so I can just have the option to do that for certain games.
Have you bopped an SD card in it yet?
No, I don't think I need to at the moment. The same with thing. Much like the PlayStation, if I'm playing something, I tend to be playing that game, right? So
and that's it.
I'll just delete it.
Yeah,
I'm not playing.
Same as me, man.
Yeah, I might. There might come a time, but I'm not envisioning playing any Call of Duties that are fucking 300 gigabytes. Do you know what I mean? So I'll be playing a lot of indie titles. The big hitters, unless they're Steam only, I'll be playing on PlayStation. This is for the games that I like playing that I don't have to pay too much attention to. I ain't got to plug my headphones in. Because if No Rest for the Wicked is a fucking banger, which it is at the moment, if it comes out on PlayStation, I'll probably buy it for PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? So I think this is just a fantastic machine that I love playing. And Stardew Valley, I genuinely believe I'm going to be playing that for hundreds of hours.
It's a very good gateway into PC gaming with the comfortability of console gaming. But do you see what I mean when I said that it's almost a bit too wide?
Oh, I just love it. I want it in.
It's very good, but do you see what I mean with the thumbs but I've got small hands. You got big fucking sausage fingers, like manly dad fingers. Oh, your fingers ain't that long though, are they?
Nah,
they're just wide.
I've got little hands.
So you might experience it then, like just with the length between like the joysticks and the triggers is sometimes a little bit stretchy, but not console breaking.
No, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't played a game where I've really needed it that much to use the triggers.
Yeah.
I've only really used them like on Stardew Valley to go between icons.
Yeah,
if I had to use something that was that permanently, then yeah, probably I get it. But I'm only using the face buttons really.
I love that it's touchscreen as well, man.
Oh, it's everything. It's just so good. I forget it's touchscreen.
Yeah. I always forget the hotkey to get the keypad to come up as well. Because obviously when you're typing stuff in, it doesn't pose that much of an issue when you're doing it through the Steam UI. When you go over to desktop mode and you're using Google and stuff like that, that's when it's a bit of a cunt because it doesn't auto prompt the fucking when you're on Steam and you click search, it auto prompts the fucking keyboard. Mm-hmm. When you go in the desktop mode, it doesn't for a lot of stuff. So you have to. I think it's like the Steam button and fucking X or some shit.
That desktop mode's for adults, mate. I'm staying well away from that. I'm just staying on the little Steam page where it's safe.
Yeah, so I got fucking because it's one of them, man. You delete something off of that.
Yeah, I'm not.
And it's a mess. It's a fucking mess.
I am gobsmacked though about how good the mouse pads are.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they?
Yeah,
With the little
I know
vibration in them and
they're
everything.
cool, but they're like so accurate.
Yeah.
Like you know the PlayStation 5 one.
Yeah,
shocking,
shit.
shocking.
Yeah, awful.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
So that's how I just envisioned it. This is like you could genuinely use that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I do.
Really
When
good.
you're in desktop mode, I do. That is what I use.
But I've been holding off Football Manager because I feel once I get that, it's over.
Mm.
You know, because that is up thousands and thousands and thousands of hours I've put in them games over the years. Probably 10,000 plus hours. So I just feel like that needs to be backburned.
Yeah, that's gonna fuck you up
for almost ever. To be honest with you, because once that's done, if I get Football Manager on there and I take it round to show Clarkey, he'll get Steam Deck. I know, 100%. I could easily make him get Steam Deck like that. So yeah, what a system!
It's a very very cool, and that's barely scratching the surface with all the other all the other handhelds that are out as well that use a different UI system. Some of them use Windows, some of them like fucking obviously Steam. So you've got a completely different, like the Asus. You can have Game Pass on that. Can't have that on. I mean, I'm sure you can jimmy it so you can have Game Pass. Well, through desktop mode, you can have Game Pass, but obviously that's a different aspect of it. And it's just exciting, man. It's
what I like.
It's a very cool thing.
I've got the Steam Deck and I'm playing it and I'm loving it. But if the Steam Deck died tomorrow or Steam Decks will stop being made or whatever, I've still got a library of Steam games.
Yeah.
So it's not like, like I'm talking in terms of like Nintendo Switch games or PS3 games. You have the games, you got the physical games, which is great, but they're useless now.
Yeah, you need the system to be able to play it. Yeah.
I've got a catalogue of games that are there when I play the laptop, or do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be, what's the word? I can't think of it, but I wouldn't be object to now put the laptop on and play No Rest for the Wicked on the laptop.
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes a difference now, but because I've played it on the Steam Deck, I'll be like, okay, I know this game, and I'll just put my controller in and play, which I might even do. I might even check that out. But the fact that I don't know. I just love it. But honestly, so good. Get a fucking Steam Deck, people. Really.
I know Mark, when I got mine, he was debating it.
So good.
He was debating getting a Switch for a long time, and then he was like, I don't know what to do. And then I got the Steam Deck, and he was like, fucking, I might get one. They are hit and miss, but they're more hit than they are miss for a lot of people. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who would definitely benefit from having something like a Steam Deck without fucking realising that. If you're listening and you've been debating over getting a Steam Deck or not, or it doesn't even have to be a Steam Deck, or you've been looking at any of the other fucking handheld PCs that are out there, fucking get one. Just get one. Because they're fucking decent, man. They're sick. And the Steam Deck, because obviously you've got the highest end one that you can get. I've got the lowest end one you can get, which is quite a cool fucking contrast. The difference between them, other than your OLED screen and potentially the battery, is not that fucking vast.
No,
they do exactly the same things. They play exactly the same games. The hardware has very, very minimal differences. The only difference in them is that the load up times for your one will be faster than mine, and that's it. And if you can live with that, if you can live with the GTA 5 loading screen, then you can live with the difference between this.
I feel like same with the Switch, right? So as I didn't have the Steam Deck, I thought, well, I'll get the OLED. If I had a Steam Deck, I wouldn't be buying the OLED. I wouldn't be selling that Steam Deck to get an OLED.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with the Switch.
Yeah.
I had a Switch, the OLED come out. I'm not getting an OLED.
Yeah.
I'll get an OLED if mine breaks, but I'm not going to go out and replace it.
It's not a deal breaker.
It's not big enough. It's not the Switch. It's not the Steam Deck 2.5. It's just the Steam Deck 2.1. You know what I mean? It's better, but it's not game breaking. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. I'm very, very happy with it, and I'll be playing it for years. It's definitely not going to be a Switch that I've bought 2 or 3 of over the years and sold or give to the kids now.
There's too much variety with it, man, for it to longevity wise. Don't get me wrong, the Switch has obviously got longevity, but the Steam Deck is far more accessible and update wise far more capable. There's much more that can be added to that, and there's much more that can be done with that. If you really wanted to, you can pull the fucking thing apart and change the fucking SSD and all that shit. I
was getting anxiety. I told you about pressing the X button too much. I was like, I don't want my X button to get stuck, and I was worried about
it's not gonna happen.
Pushing too hard on my analog stick. I'm thinking, I was gonna get stick drift So I watched a YouTube video on how to replace the buttons
Yeah.
and the things, and I was like, well, if anything does happen, at least I know that I can replace them.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. But I was getting proper anxious. I was like, oh, I've got to stop pressing X.
But that's
so
the
much.
other thing is that because it's a PC, Steam, Valve want you to with the system itself. They want you to fuck around with it. And what can I fucking put on the Steam Deck? What can I download? What can I change? What can I mod? They want you to do that, but they also want you to do that with the fucking system itself, with the console, and it's somewhat difficult to take the thing apart, but at the same time, it's a PC. They haven't locked it away. You can't touch it. You have to be a scientist to fucking an engineer to take this thing apart. It's just a PC. So if you want to fucking take it apart and look at the hardware and change bits, fucking go for it.
I don't think it is that hard to take apart. I think
it's not.
The only thing I would do if I was to do it would be, one, to obviously watch a YouTube video, and two, would to be buy a actual set of the tools. That
because you ain't just going at it with a fucking Phillips.
Well, that's what what I mean.
Get your Halford set out and fucking crack on.
If I got the proper bits and bobs, I'd be confident I could do it. But unless I need to, I never will.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I'm very, very. I couldn't be happier. Like 11 out of 10 for that. I was, when, I don't know if you're the same as me, but I get very anxious after I make a big purchase.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking.
Have I done the right thing?
Like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times I was thinking, do I cancel it before it comes? I'm shitting myself here. That's a lot of money. Rah. And then as soon as I put it on, I was fucking about with the intro systems. And before I'd even bought a game, I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just so good. In every possible, it feels good, it plays good.
I also
it's
like
comfortable, it's pretty, it's lovely.
Also like the cooling system of it isn't at the bottom. It's not on the underside, so you're
not getting hot hands.
Yeah, so you can have it resting on you, and you ain't gonna suffocate the thing. And
it makes very minimal noise as well. It's like
they're just fucking cool, man. They're amazing. They're really cool bits of kit, and I love that all the ports and everything's on top. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to have it charging, that's not in the way. You can just plug it in at the top.
Always annoyed me that having charging ports on the bottom. Yeah. I've never understood why a lot of things do that, because then you
can't use it.
No, because you put it down, it should bend in the cable.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
And the cable, I know it's different for the OLED because they changed it obviously after a lot of moaning, but the cable's really long.
Yeah,
I don't know. The other one's a bit shorter. This one can go for a long time, way.
I think the one that I've got, I could have it plugged in that corner there, and I could probably still sit on the end here, and it'd be all right.
Yeah, see, that's long enough.
But it's not fucking crazy long. But yeah, it is long enough.
Yeah, as long as it's long enough. But I'm gassed. It's just gushing over the Steam Deck. But genuinely, I put it this way, and I'm not just saying this. I am much happier with this purchase than I am the Xbox.
Yeah.
The Xbox was for Starfield, which is annoying that it come out the way it did. But genuinely, I've already had more fun with the Steam Deck than I have the Xbox, and I've had the Xbox for like
it's because the Steam Deck is that it's that what's the fucking word? That technological advancement that you would want within gaming. It's something that's so, for a lot of gamers that weren't into PC gaming seems like an alien fucking concept. It does seem like a almost higher being, because it's like, I don't fucking know anything about computers. I don't know how to do any of that. And then it's like, everyone seems to think that most games you need like this atomic fucking rig to be able to play most shit. So most people stay away from that because it's very expensive to achieve a lot of stuff. So to have this, not budget price, but somewhat affordable console come out that gives you straight access to 99% of that PC world is so much fun. Like it's so cool, and I love that for gaming. I love that as a pathway for most people. Sam and Carl, if you're fucking listening and you got a bit of dough that you want to fucking, well, I know Sam has because he gives a lot of it to us. But if you get thinking about getting a Steam Deck, just fucking buy one, because they're sick.
Just do what I did, man. Just get it. I'd got it on PayPal credit. I've nearly paid it off now because I like to pay shit off quick. But yeah, even fucking Amazon paying free or whatever, man, it's so worth it. So fucking worth it. I am amazed And what's great is, you know, Gem's watching her movies in the evening. I'm just sitting there playing games. We're in the same room. She's watching her film. I'm doing what I want to do. She's doing what she wants to do. And there's not that there's arguments, but there is. It's just nice, you know. Whereas normally she'll be watching something, I'll be bored out my skull playing on my phone, or I'll be on the PlayStation on the telly, and she'll be just.
Now you can see the heat up when the Portal come out, and why I was so fucking not angry, but
shocking.
It's like why have that when you can have a fucking Steam Deck? The vast difference is mental with the capabilities. One just fucking streams games, and one is a powerhouse.
Bearing in mind, you can get like the base Steam Deck for like £300 now, £329.
Mine cost me. Yeah, I think it was 329 quid
what I mean.
to buy it.
And they're last now. They're the relics, so all the shipment to them they're selling, right? So you can get them cheap as fuck from Steam.
Yeah.
And the port's 200 quid. So for basically another $1, you can get a fucking monster machine. Yeah. Or you can get this Wi-Fi only thing that doesn't even work half the time, is glitchy. What a waste of money.
Portal's fucking decent
if you like
in its own right, but
nah.
it's not when you're. It's not what we're fucking looking for, and it's not what a lot of people are looking for. When you got a market with a Steam Deck in it, and you're coming out with your like a flagship handheld, you've got to fucking have it stand up to par with something like Steam Deck, especially when you got the backing that fucking Sony has.
Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if Steam Deck makes a home console with Steam in mind. Yeah, they could make a PlayStation that could put out Steam games. Yeah.
Because you with the Steam Deck, obviously you're entering that realm. Whether they would fucking go for it, they don't necessarily need to, but the idea probably would be explored. Because it's not a bad idea. It's just whether you would fucking need another console on the market that's the same. But then that gets into that iteration of having everything all in one.
But that's what I mean. You have then, really. All PlayStation games seem to come to Steam nowadays.
They're just a little bit behind if you can fucking keep up with the demand for it.
Yeah, if you can wait. But at least you're playing it all on one system then. I think it's fantastic. Very happy.
And that's that.
There's that Patreon
Fantastic. Patreon time. Fucking, we're going to go and do the real shit.
Thanks for your ears.
See you later, Uru.
Uru.